In this video, I'm going to go over the final paper assignment, and I'm going to be looking at two documents. The first document that I'm looking at right now and that you can see is from the syllabus. It's on the section labeled Final Paper, and it's toward the end of the syllabus. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to write a paper, and you have 4 choices within that. The main thing that it says right here is that the paper needs to be 8 to 10 pages long. So the first choice is a concept paper, and this concept should primarily be on one of the different types of children's literature that we've looked at. So we've looked at postmodern books, multicultural children's literature. We're looking at books for LGBTQ topics. So any of those areas that you might want to really explore and expand on what we've already learned, you're going to begin by looking at theoretic frames, discussing the concept. You'll examine new text, so whether it's whatever type of children's literature conception that you're looking at, you will look at relatively new books within that area, and you could design lessons to accompany, although that's not a specific requirement. Okay, the second choice is a theorist. So you may choose to look particularly at the work of somebody like Marie Clay, or you may choose to look at somebody who we've studied but is not the author of one of our textbooks. So for example, Louise Rosenblatt, who has particular theories about how children respond to literature, or Vygotsky, who talks about the learning that children do. So you will read extensively in the area of this theorist work, and then consider the various ways that this theoretical position relates to children's literature and its use in the classroom. So you're going to, in essence, have a synthesis of the theoretical with practice, things that go on in the classroom. A third choice you could make is to do a genre paper. So the first idea here at the top is thinking about concepts, way that we conceptually put literature together, and then here is looking instead in a more traditional sense at genre, so historical fiction or fantasy or realistic fiction, and explore the issues involved in responding to such a genre. If you choose to do this paper, you may want to use the textbook that we have, the older textbook, the one, see, this is by Galda and Cullinan that you have on children's literature. So that would give you a good place to start, and it would also help you to narrow your topic so you can deal with just a few of the issues related to this genre. And then the fourth choice is a topic or approach of your own choice. If you're going to choose this, you will need to talk to me and make sure that we both agree on that topic. Okay, so I'm going to go to the next document now, and this is the assignment of the final paper and how the assignment will be graded. So this is worth 100 points, and 30 of those points will be on the organization. So the paper is organized in a professional manner. The writing within paragraphs is organized as well as between paragraphs. So I'll be looking for things like transitions between sentence sections and paragraphs, that a paragraph shows a logical progression and sentences make sense and follow grammar rules. Another thing that I will be looking at here is whether or not you're able to synthesize the work of a variety of research articles that you have pulled for this paper, and if you're able to use quotations in a professional way. So what I would say is you don't want to have a whole paragraph that is one quote after another after another. You want to put together your own words and then use your quotes strategically for this. Okay, 60 points of the paper will be based on the content. So the content will vary based on the type of paper that you've chosen to write, but all of the things, these other things will be important. So your information must be accurate and pertinent to the topic of the course. So in particular, this paper is going to be about children's literature. You need to include references that are pertinent to the topic that you've chosen. And then here again, I'm going to be looking at the quotations. Quotations are encouraged, but it shouldn't include so many quotes that there's nothing of yourself as a writer within it. You will need to include a thesis statement that will be within your introduction, a literature review section, a discussion section, and a conclusion. And if you would need more help on any of that or putting your paper together, I'd be glad to set aside some time in class or some time when we could meet individually. Finally, the APA reference, you will be expected to use in-text references. Those are present and correct following APA format, and that a reference list is included, and this also follows APA format. Now I notice that I do not have anything here about the number of references that will be needed. You may use some references from the internet, but I would caution you that that should not, in a professional paper, that should not ever be your primary source. So I will be looking for you to have things like textbooks. Those could be books that we've used in our class or other classes. I will be looking for probably a minimum of 3 peer-reviewed articles about the topic that you have chosen to look for. And if you are beginning your paper and you need some help looking for those references, please let me know, because I could probably give you some names of authors that have written on the topic that you've chosen. Okay, what I've put up at the top for today's class is a question forum for the final paper, and I would like you to put any questions you have there, and then I'll be able to answer them for the whole class. We will spend some time on April 4th, I think we have a class on April 4th, talking about the paper a little bit more in depth, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to meet in small groups depending on the choice. So I would ask you that prior to April 4th, that you spend some time thinking about what your topic is going to be, looking at the 4 choices, and brainstorming some ideas, so that on April 4th you'll be able to meet with other people and share some ideas and encourage one another in doing that.